trees. I might try and keep it a little bit simple, but this is where it's at the moment, which is just the sky, so I have a lot of work to do, but I'm very much looking forward to painting it. This is another painting I'll make. I just started it today, just drawing it up. It's at Lake Kirawantu, and it's looking back to the same view that the large cityscape is looking this way. And finally, this work I will almost definitely paint. There's a lot of nice things happening in here, real things of the heritage and the new, the glitz and the grit, if you like. Quite like the gritty aspects to the city. So again, the people will disappear, but yeah, it's definitely one that I will paint. And then I have some trips to Malacca, and I'll also be going, I will try and get up to Penang, I think, to Georgetown. So I think I give a lecture in Malacca. We'll try and stay a night there and hopefully gather some potential images, and the same in Penang. Everyone has said to me, you must go to Penang, which is really interesting, so I will, and hopefully I can gather some images there to potentially paint. I also plan to do a few drawings, which I will frame for the exhibition, but I've got 5.5 weeks, so it's just a case of how much I can do. There's a couple of things that influence my decision. You'll notice there's quite a lot of sky in that new work, and also the one in Kirawantu. It's a good way of filling in a lot of canvas quite quickly, and then just concentrating the architectural elements, which are the things that take a really long amount of time to paint. But I feel good about it. I just have to work hard and also try and enjoy being in KL at the same time. It's a difficult thing about being on residency is it's a great opportunity to come, make a lot of work really hard, especially when you like myself and have a full-time job back home. This is a great opportunity, but you're torn in every direction. There's so many interesting things to explore here in KL, and so it's just balancing that out. But that's the plan. Questions?
Any question?
Any question? Well, we can see that how Chris, view our city. I think that's the interesting part, right? I believe that a lot of us, you have neglected, what is around you. So from a third party, that how they view our landscape, I think is interesting. That's looking forward to see your work and how you're going to transform them. And then your show will be on. Have you fixed the date?
So it runs from the 1st of August until maybe the
1st of August.
Until the 22nd.
Okay, so the show will be on the 1st of August at the Shalini Ganendra Fine Arts Gallery. So some of you may have already been to the place, and you are welcome to attend the exhibition.
In fact, before then, anybody is welcome to come. There's a very good chance I will be there in the studio. So if you're in the
because Chris will be here for two months, okay. And is so-called artist in residence, meaning that he will be here, full time until he complete his works, and then we're going to have a show in the gallery. Okay, there's an artist in residence because to some of the foundation students, you may not know what is the artist in residence program. Okay, so you are free to visit Chris to his studio and then see how he works on his work. And then amazing that even though 2 weeks time you have already produced quite a massive body of work, right? Okay, I think that's also give a lot of idea to our students here. You always complain that you have not enough time, but in fact 2 weeks already, and plus he has to travel. You have to travel and look for pictures, and develop, and he works 12 hours a day. Okay. So that's looking forward to see your work, okay? And how about from the floor? Any question that you want to ask? Anything that you wanted to know? Anything? Or you wanted to ask question, after this? Okay, feel free to just correspond with Chris, and then just more impromptu questions. I think there's some question to be asked later. Okay, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Chris, okay, to share his experience with us, and also thank to students for taking your time here, okay, and appreciate for those who attended the talk here, and for those who have not signed in your name list, there's a table there. Please fill up your name, and then for fine art department you already filled up, so that's okay. Okay, thank you, Chris. Okay, the talk considered complete, finished. Thank you very much.
These are just a few shots from some of the works in exhibitions in New Zealand. This piece, Dumbstruck, this is in a group exhibition with a couple of other artists. So here we are in KL, happy to be here with a lot of work to do. So I have, I've been here 2 weeks, and I have, on Thursday this week, I will have 5 more weeks before the exhibition opens. And I have a gallery to fill with paintings, and so this painting is about 2.5 meters long and painted with a very small brush, either 5 zeros or 3 zeros. If there's any painters here, you'll know what that means. Very small brush, largely. And a couple of small works that I completed quite quickly, but this one, yeah, I guess I've been here 2 weeks, so it's a little bit further advanced. I finished a bit more of it last night. I think it will probably take about 2 weeks of intense studio work to have it finished, and I have quite a few more paintings to make, which will take a look at what they might be and what I'm thinking while I'm here. But this is the studio space at Shalini Canindra Fine Art. It's a good space to work. It's hot, much hotter than my studio in Christchurch, but it's good. So these are some photographs I've taken while I'm around KL. If I were to paint this, there would be no car in it, there would be no scooter in it, and I would potentially crop the image, quite like the organic forms of the river and the trees in this. It's sort of a little bit more soft-edged to balance out the architecture. These will all be really obvious sights to you. Many of these I won't paint, but you can still see that for me, why these might be quite inspiring. And again, if I were to paint this, all those people would disappear. And there's certain details I like the yellow crossing, and I can just imagine how those things would translate into a painting. That works. Yeah, got some really nice repetition in it, and to shoot it properly, you would have to be elevated and front on and perfectly set up. I quite like the wonkiness and the fact that it's from very much from a pedestrian's viewpoint. This is a shot from the Petronas Towers. I will almost certainly paint this, but maybe not while I'm here. I suspect that to do it justice, I would need more time than I have to make this painting what it could potentially be. And this was just a beautiful breakout space in the Islamic Arts Museum, which I really enjoyed the light in there and the sense of eeriness. And I won't paint it, but I like an interior would be very interesting, and this feels like it's partially an interior and partially an exterior. You sort of balance out. So there's something very interesting about that to me. And just the freeways and motorways and the lights, all those things are very, very interesting to me to potentially paint. But here we are. This is an image that I started painting, and this is how it appeared when I took the photograph. And obviously the sky was a lot clearer than it is now, so I'm glad I got up there when I did. And to turn it into the long painting, 2.5 metre painting that we saw before, I cropped it. I cut out some of the detail at the base, a little bit of the sky, and that is a word that will go on there. And dissolve is very much what it's doing. It just feels like it's sort of dissolving into the distance and into the jungle. You know, there's a sense of a city growing out of a jungle a little bit. I think when you get elevated, you realise how much green space there is in KL that sometimes isn't quite as apparent when you're walking around the city. And so that's where it's at as of last night. So from that, you can see the Titawunsa Lake there, and that's kind of where it's at. With probably 3 more days of solid painting. It's sort of all gridded up and drawn up. I can get about that much done in a 12-hour day. This is a photograph I took in Chinatown. On my first day here, I stayed in the hostel the first night and got up in the morning. That's the image cropped. That's what it looks like with text added. And that's where it's at now as a painting. So from that to that. And I'm very happy with this painting. I like the multiple directions, things going that way, things going that way. And it's got people in it, but they're not people. It's a little bit, you know, there's some cliche and stereotype in there, and I don't mind shying away from that. As somebody not from here, you know, sometimes you sort of embrace those things, and they're fine. This is another image I took. That's what it looks like cropped. Turn it into a square format. Really quite like the brand new skyscraper behind this building, which isn't as old as it might appear. And that's what it looks like with the text added. And that's it as a painting. Text still to be added. The text I'll just talk about a little bit here. This one is going to say aside, and the next one will be monologue. So in theatre, and when people are actors are in plays, I'm sure you know this, a monologue is when a single actor does pretty much what I'm doing right now, stands up and offers their inner thoughts. And an aside is the same thing, but often in a multiple person play. The actor stops and they speak to the audience, and the other actors can't hear them, but you're hearing their internal thoughts. So I thought they were quite nice analogies for these paintings, perhaps. I haven't put the words on here, so that could change. And this painting, not really very happy with it. And so maybe by arranging the text in this way, I feel like I might be able to rescue it yet. We'll see. This is another painting that I'm planning to paint. You'll recognise it, it's the National Mosque, and there's just so much going on there that is really rich to paint. You know, a lot of beautiful decoration and a lot of angles, and obviously a place of great meaning. And I hear the call to prayer each morning, so you know that sort of permeates your life while you're here, and so it feels like that'll be a good painting to make. All the lights will be illuminated, potentially even